refuse to believe there are people on this planet that choose to sleep with socks on. I always thought they were one of those stories your parents made up so you wouldn't question your bedtime and shit yourself at the threat of one of those creatures coming out from under your bed if you didn't do what they say. But even without this threat looming over my head as a child, I wouldn't dare sleep with my socks on.
I asked my mom not too long ago why that is, and her only answer was that it was wrong, and I know better than to question my mother. The first time I ever really thought about it was freshman year when I found out my neighbor in the dorms was a sock sleeper, and every one of his roommates ran him for it. So when I moved into my dorm second year, I made sure my roommate and I were on the same page. We wrote in our roommate contract that we couldn't sleep with socks on and slept soundly every night after that. So you can believe my horror when I saw most of the comments on my sock shorts I've made have been in defense of sock sleeping. I didn't want to believe that more than half of people out there are going to bed without taking off their nasty sweaty ass socks from the day, so I did what any normal person would do, and rather than make a video on it, I just googled it. I only found an American study from 2007, so I was automatically prepared for the worst. It said 44% of people are normal and sleep barefoot, as society intended. The rest were half sweaty toe lovers and half undecided. You take 3 people, you'll likely get someone normal, someone who scams people out of toe picks, and someone who doesn't know what they want for dinner if you asked. But this study was old enough to ask your grandma out for a drink, so I went where all questions get answered more truthfully than you could ever ask. Quora. Hey, real quick, if you could just subscribe before the video went on, that would be pretty cool. Back to the video. The first thing I noticed was one post that seemed to be asking the wrong question, but it confused me more than anything. Wearing socks into bed, but then also taking them off in bed. And it wasn't even the first time I heard someone say something so strange. My friend Ang said the same type of shit on my short, so I called them up to get some answers as to why the frick they would do such a thing. Hello. What's up, dude?
Yes.
Aside from making a video, I have to know what's up with the taking off of socks in bed.
Interesting fact, they have done actual scientific research on something tangentially similar to what I do. Itching your ankle, like scratching it, it is the most pleasurable type of itching you can do. Because if you're using your big toe to take the sock off,
Yeah.
you'll notice that it's scratching against your ankles. And there's just something weirdly monkey brain enjoyable about that.
Okay, but why don't you just itch your ankle anyway?
Okay, look, here, I'm gonna send you a photo.
For free?
It is free feet pic. That is roughly what I'm talking about in terms of taking off your socks. When I was younger, there was just always a constant sea of socks just floating around in my blanket.
Do you find it morally wrong to wear socks to bed?
There's one reason why you'd ever go to bed with socks on. If you have to sleep in the same bed with the homies and you're spooning.
Okay, no, see, that is an exception.
If you've ever met someone that wore only socks to bed, they do not exist, but if they did...
Now, little do they know, such a person might actually exist. I found this little treat by scrolling down a bit. So, we got, some regular homies, and then this guy. Our friend the local romantic here sleeps naked except for socks and slippers.
What the fuck? And the slippers.
And the slippers. Oh.
And the slippers?
Double whammy. Slippers in bed.
How soft are these slippers that you're okay with wearing them in bed? And how has your wife not divorced you?
Anyway, I've seen way too many feet over the course of making this video.